Well, hello! Welcome back to my channel, Jashanac here, to talk about some friggin' book quotes. This is the, I think, third installment of this, where I just share some new favorite quotes that I have saved. I have this notebook right here where I keep these quotes, and where I left off before, there's several. I don't know, am I gonna read all of these? Yeah, the last time I did this was sometime last year. But all right, beginning with a quote from A Queen in Hiding by Sarah Kozloff, which I ended up feeling pretty lukewarm about, and I was gonna continue with the series, and then I've just forgotten about it, and I don't know if I care anymore. But I liked this quote. This first word is the name of their world, and in this world, people are basically, there's prejudice and discrimination based on eye color. Or hair color. That's what it is, hair color. Eniaman will be a better place when everyone's hair is brown, Thalen opined. Will it, Granelton mused, or will people just settle on other marks of difference, other reasons to hate one another? I really enjoyed that. This is from Daughters of Neri by Rennie K. Amayo, and this character that said this was just a random soldier that was only here one time. And basically, he was kind of bucking against authority that was telling him to do something pretty terrible, and his fellow soldier was like, you need to be careful, kind of telling him, keep your mouth shut, you know? And he says, careful with what? My life or my soul? Which one do you really think requires more care? Ooh! If that isn't a great line, that's a fucking great line. And for an unnamed character to have that, that was great. And then a few from House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune, which you know I love. Your bubble, Mr. Baker, it's been popped. Why would you allow it to grow around you again? So cute. This is another one from that book, Arthur. Because of who you are. I know you don't see it, Linus, but I see it enough for the both of us. You make me feel like I'm burning up from the inside out. Arthur again. You're too precious to put into words. I think it's like one of Theodore's buttons. If you asked him why he cared about them so, he would tell you it's because they exist at all. So cute. This is from Valor by John Gwynne. This is Gar saying, without fear, there is no courage. And that's a sentiment I've heard in various forms of media, books, movies, etc., but I don't know, I really like it. This is also from Valor. Oh, this moment, this was just so great. I'm not going to tell you the context, but this end will do me just fine, Maquin said, grinning at Orgel. Oh, God. Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. Hell is the absence of the people you long for. Oh, so sad. A few quotes from Bad Romance by Heather Demetrios, which was a difficult book for me to read. It's a book about abuse, emotional, mental, some physical, sexual abuse. And a lot of it just struck a chord with me. This is Grace saying, it's just that sometimes her words feel like a nun's ruler smacking across my knuckles. Oh, man. Oh, this one. And this book is about the start of a bad romance, the start of a relationship that ends up being abusive. And this is Grace again, the main character, saying, I blush, pleasure blooming in my chest. I don't know it now, but there will be a garden inside me soon, and it will grow thorns. Oh my God, that makes me emotional still. Because then later she talked about that. Yeah, right here. Grace again. You're a maze, all high hedges and endless loops. I can't find a way out, can't see where I've been. It's all running, lost in the dark of you, trapped. Everywhere I turn is a dead end. I keep winding up back where I've started. That's her explaining what it felt like to be in that abusive relationship. Oh, man. So good. Some from Mort by Terry Pratchett. These are just so funny. He was tall, red-haired, and freckled, with the sort of body that seems to be only marginally under its owner's control. It appeared to have been built out of knees. Oh, man. In short, Mort was one of those people who are more dangerous than a bag of rattlesnakes. He was determined to discover the underlying logic behind the universe. This is hilarious. So long as he caught nothing, Terpsic Mims was one of the disc's happiest anglers, because the Harkle River was 5 miles from his home, and therefore 5 miles from Mrs. Gladys Mims, with whom he had enjoyed 6 happy months of married life. That had been some 20 years previously. Oh my god, it fucking tickles me. A couple from The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula K. Le Guin. I reread that recently. The only thing that makes life possible is permanent, intolerable uncertainty, not knowing what comes next. Jen Lee saying, "It is a terrible thing, this kindness that human beings do not lose. Terrible, because when we are finally naked in the dark and cold, it is all we are." A couple from Son of the Storm, which I feel like I have read multiple times because of bulk filming. This is by Suyi Davies Okungbawa, and this is Danso. "But I still believe there is freedom to be found in the truth, for myself at least, and I can't find it if I'm always searching for the lie." BM Wensei, "There is no such thing as a necessary evil. There is only evil." Li Long from Son of the Storm, "The world needs at least one person to harbor a little belief, a little trust in things, or else what a horrible, horrible place it'll be." And this is after this character has kind of changed a bit. This is after some character growth. Li Long again, "Yes, change. Like destroying every lie. That's where the power to do so rests, isn't it? And maybe if we keep enough faith with others, together we become powerful enough to force everyone to look, to see the blood buried beneath the land. And true freedom is truth, isn't it?" I fucking love that line so much, that last part especially, talking about true freedom lying in forcing people to see the truth. In this case, the truth of this country, the truth of the government, the leadership, and the blood that they buried beneath the land. And that freedom will come from everyone knowing that. Oh, God, so good. Several from The Chosen and the Beautiful, and there will probably be way more when I reread this. Initially, I read it on ebook, and it's just harder for me. I don't know, I don't tab, I don't highlight things as much when I'm reading on my Kindle. So when I go back through and reread this physically and tab it, I'm sure I'll have more. But for now, most of these are Jordan talking. Yeah, they're all Jordan talking. "I knew Gatsby right then for what he was. A predator whose desires were so strong they would swing yours around and put them out of true. The world was on fire, but we could only smell the smoke." Oh, this one is so good. "They would look at each other, reach for each other, crashing together in a way that could have set the entire world deaf if only they could hear it." This is from Age of Swords by Michael J. Sullivan. This is Persephone. "With hope, people can do remarkable, amazing things. Between hope and despair, I'll take hope every time." Age of Swords again. This is Wraith. "What good is surviving if I have to give up everything I am to live?" For these next few, I won't say names because it could be kind of spoilery, I think. This one is from Age of Death, though. "This war won't be won or lost by birds or dragons, nor by greed or hate, but by the courage and virtue of an unlikely few who will forfeit everything to save the future. That's how it works, you know? The proud, the greedy, the vengeful are never the ones to change the world. Not for the better, at least. They can't. They don't have the tools." This is two characters talking to each other from Age of Empire by Michael J. Sullivan. "And you want me to risk the fate of the human race on faith." Exactly. And my question to you is this: why isn't that enough? Oh, so fucking good. Age of Empire again. "A mouse trapped in a corner by a bear will still fight for survival. Love," he came to realize, "was like that." These next two are also Age of Empire. "Dying is easy. Anyone can do that. Living, going on after you've lost those you love, having to face each new day under the weight of their absence, is what's hard. Two characters talking to each other again in Age of Empire. You're asking me to unmake myself. You're more than hate. Oh, God. And like the context of who these characters are and what they're talking about, so great. But I really just liked that line because the general context without spoilers is a character, they're discussing like letting go of hate, letting go of vengeful feelings and emotions and stuff like that. And this one particular character, that's kind of been their thing. It's been their identity. And so that's why they're saying, you're asking me to unmake myself. And someone tells them, you're more than hate. And it's just so precious. And I can't. And those are the ones. So I guess it didn't take as long as I thought since I didn't lament about each of them. But yeah, I just like to update because I think it's fun. I mean, I saved the quotes. I might as well share them with you, right? If you read any of the books that I, pulled quotes from, let me know what your thoughts were. And as always, thank you so much for your time. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.